In this video tutorial, we are going to talk about trigonometric ratios of angles. Let's begin our discussion with unit circle. So what exactly is a unit circle? A unit circle is a circle of radius 1 unit. And the good thing about this circle is that it's split into 4 different parts, known as quadrants. The angle measured in each of these quadrants are measured in the anticlockwise direction, starting from the positive x-axis. And it turns out that each of these quadrants possesses the first 3 trigonometric functions, and the values of each of these functions varies in sign depending on the quadrant you're dealing with. This is the first quadrant. This is the second quadrant. And this portion is the third quadrant. And for the last one is the fourth quadrant. Like I said, they all possesses the first 3 trigonometric functions. In the first quadrant, all these functions are positive in values, while in the second quadrant, only sine function is positive in value. In the third quadrant, only tan function is positive in value, and in the fourth quadrant, only cosine function is positive in value. This is something you want to keep in mind, as you will always be needing them whenever you're dealing with any problems involving trigonometric functions. You might be wondering that how won't you be able to mix this up? Won't this seem somehow boring and complicated to master? For easy remembrance, there is a mnemonic that you can always use as a push tool, and that is all students take calculus. This sounds great. For the all, that stands for the first quadrant, that is, all the 3 functions are positive. For the students, you are going to use the first letter, which is S, so that means that only sine has a positive. For the fake, that is for the third quadrant, that is only tan has a positive value, while for the calculus, that is for the fourth quadrant, only cos has a positive value. I believe this will at least help in one way or the other. You want to be familiar with the process of finding the trigonometric ratio of acute angle that correspond to the trigonometric ratio of a given angle, typically the other angles. How does this work? Besides, what am I saying in excess? How can we find the corresponding trigonometric ratio of acute angle that correspond to cosine 160 degree? It turns out that this is not the only value of cosine 160. We can also get some other answers in terms of acute angle, and that's what we are talking about in excess. So what are the processes? The first thing you want to consider doing is to observe the value of cosine. It turns out that 160 is a positive value, so it means the cosine theta is a positive value. So I'm going to denote that with plus V. Then having done that, you want to draw this. Like I said at the beginning of this video, we measured angles in the anticlockwise direction. Note, this will be done if that angle is positive, like this. Starting from the positive x-axis, so I'm just going to measure 160 degrees, and that will be this. The next, you would like to draw a straight line from the origin to the end point of the arc. Then our main goal is to solve for this angle. Assuming this is alpha and this is theta, this is 160. Our main goal is to solve for alpha. Since the whole portion is within a straight line, then it means alpha will be 180 minus 160. And that will be indeed equals to 20 degrees. Perfect. So it turns out that it means cosine 160 is the same as cosine 20. So should that be our final answer? That's going to really be our final answer. We are almost there. The last thing we need to consider doing is to observe the sign that is associated with cosine function in this quadrant. Don't forget that is the first, second, third, and fourth. It turns out that in the second quadrant, only sine is positive, and therefore cosine has to be a negative number. Definitely, cosine 160 will correspond to negative cosine 20, and that's it. You can confirm that with your calculator, and that's how to express a given trigonometric ratio of other angles in terms of trigonometric ratios of acute angle. To understand this properly, let's consider some more examples. Example 2. Let's consider tan 310. What will be the corresponding trigonometric ratio of acute angle to this 310? So first, let's draw the cardinal points. Or let me say the quadrants. So first, second, okay, third, and fourth. So 310, starting from the positive x-axis, moving in the anti-clockwise direction, will be somewhere around here. Then I will draw a straight line from the origin to the endpoint of this arc. Perfect. Now my main goal is to solve for this angle, alpha. Don't forget this whole part is theta, and it's simply equals to 310. So this whole angle will be 360 minus 310. And eventually, that should be 50 degrees. So it means tan 310 will correspond to tan 50 degrees. So now, should it be tan 50 degrees or minus tan 50 degrees? How can we tell? Alpha falls under the fourth quadrant. And in the fourth quadrant, only cosine is positive. Definitely, negative sign has to be associated with this. So it means tan 330 and 310 will correspond to negative tan 50. And that's it. You should have observed the pattern and the process. That's just how it works. Hopefully, you are grabbing the concept. Good. Now, let's consider one more example for easy understanding. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Now, let's consider sine 280 degrees. What would be the trigonometric ratio of acute angle that will correspond to this 280 degrees? So let's begin just like before. Let's draw the quadrant first. First, second, third, and fourth. So moving 280 units, that will be somewhere around here. Then I have a straight line from the origin to the end point of the arc. Then this is alpha. This is 280. So therefore, alpha will be 360 minus 280. And that will be indeed equals to 80 degrees. Perfect. So definitely, sine 280 degrees will correspond to sine 80 degrees. So should it be positive sine 80 degrees or negative sine 80 degrees? Let's see that. Since sine is negative in the fourth quadrant, definitely this will be a negative sine 80 degrees. And that's how it works. Hopefully you find this content helpful. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. This will be the part 1 of this video. We are going to consider the part 2 in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye for now.